Lou Williams came out on the Run It Back podcast while the conversation was centered around Giannis Antetokounmpo not growing his game, and said some other interesting things as well, which I'll let you listen to in 1 second and respond to. But first, welcome. My name is Paul, and this is The Basketball Show, where I talk today's NBA, current events, news, players, and more. All completely unbiased, even though some people disagree, because any opposing opinion to weak people is always hating. Truth is truth, and I try to stand by it. So I saw an interesting clip from the Run It Back podcast with Chandler Parsons, Lou Williams, and Michelle Beadle. They were talking about a lot of different things, but at one point, the conversation got into Giannis Antetokounmpo, and it got interesting when Williams said this.
This is where I think Giannis gets lost in the sauce and criticize whatever. I feel like Giannis hasn't added pieces to his game. You know, as you get older, as you evolve in this game, you got to add something. And you usually see guys add something. Like we saw Shea add pieces to his game from last year to this year. Jokic has been way more dominant this year than he was last year. Like you see guys adding a piece. I want to see Giannis add a piece to his game. That mid-range. We were talking about his mid-range earlier in the season. Kind of got away from it. Add the three ball, add something to your bag that we hadn't seen. I think it's just more of the same. And once they kind of had some turbulence earlier in this year, and then they kind of righted that thing, that kind of put him in a tricky position. He was in the MVP conversation, but I would just love to see Giannis add something to his game for that to happen. But I don't think he's one of the forgotten greats. I think he's still top 4, top 5 in this league. I just would love to see him add something to his game, and I think that would help that argument.
So I do agree with Lou here, and was saying this for a while now. Giannis got very comfortable in Milwaukee. He's comfortable there. He has his family there, his brothers on the team, as I believe. Now he has Damian Lillard as well, who's a threat from long range. Giannis has been in the NBA 11 full seasons, and this season is his 12th, okay? He took a few years to make his mark in the NBA, and he really came onto the scene when he finished 7th in the MVP voting in 2016-17, which was his 4th season in the league. He did average 23 points a game that season, almost 9 boards, 2 blocks, 1.6 steals, while shooting 52% from the field and 27% from 3. So just remember that. Now, since that time, the NBA has been changing more and more towards the 3-point game, and a long-range shot has become more and more valuable the longer, Giannis plays. Now, basketball players know that the tougher the game gets, especially in the playoffs, the harder it is to score under or close to the basket. Now, Giannis is so great, because he is a great player, close to the rim, that his field goal percentage hasn't really suffered in the playoffs, because I looked at the stats. But he could be much more dangerous with a developed and dangerous 3-point shot. And I think that's what's being really mentioned in his game. Now, he came into the NBA, he was already very good mid-range, and a good rebounder and defender and great under the basket. But that has never changed. Normally, the greats in the league, they develop their game, and whatever their weakness is, that they have, they work on them to make them at least almost as equal as their strength, as much as they could improve. Where the opposite team has to watch out for that as well. Now, since the 3-point shot has become increasingly more and more important in the NBA, and players like Giannis should really have put in the work to develop that as a strong weapon. And I mean, he wouldn't have to shoot the 3 a lot, but to have that weapon, it would make his defense play him a little different on the perimeter, which would allow him an easier route to the basket if he chose to go that way. Now, having more weapons is always better and gives you more options and makes you more dangerous. Now, looking at Giannis' stats, his career 3-point percentage is 28.4%. And this season, his 52 games that he played so far, it's terrible. It's 18.6%. I mean, it's disgusting. I mean, especially in the playoffs, this allows the defense to sag off of you and put more pressure on your teammates. So you're actually hurting your team. For a player his caliber, where he could easily be included in the top 5 players in the NBA right now, that's unacceptable. I mean, I know he has a title already, but if he wants to win another one, having a guy like Lillard with you, a great shooter, you need to develop that 3 game and be a threat to open up the game for yourself, Lillard, and other players. Because if you draw your defender, you create more room for other players to penetrate and drive to the basket and things like that. That's just how it works. Now, Lou's observation is 100% correct, and I agree with it. And let me know what you guys think. I mean, let me know in the comments, and check out these other great videos where, for example, Stephen A. Smith goes back at LeBron James openly on Gil's Arena after LeBron confronted him a few days ago. See you in the next one, and thank you for watching. Bye-bye.